What's going on? Kevin Hope here, BallHer Hoops. Back at you with another episode. Sunday morning, early. Trying to get to it. If you know, you know. It's been a lot of basketball going on. Trying to get caught up with it. A lot of good games have happened. A lot of teams making some moves in the right direction. Winning good games. Players having amazing performances. So shout out to the BallHer Hoop area. It's been some really good basketball going on. I'll say that. So this week, I think the Fire 25 will be out probably sometime tonight. We'll make sure to get that out for the people. This video is coming out Sunday, so if it's not Sunday, y'all can hit me up in the comments like, "Where's the video?" Um, but we're gonna talk about this week to come conference races. It's a lot of big games this week that will have a big impact on conference championships as far as regular season. I know the public school still does the tournament, so I think this is the last year for it, but they still do it. But starting with Union Academy versus Albemarle, they play on January 31st, which is a Friday. Big game there. You look at Union Academy. They're undefeated. Brandon Suttle has been leading that team. Albemarle lost to them at Union. I think they were at Albemarle and lost that game, so that was a kind of a shock for some people. But I'm sure Union Academy feels like they're the team that they think they can be. Even with losing Jaden Thompson, transferring out of there, and they're still competing at a high level. Being undefeated is being undefeated, regardless of who you played, because obviously they played Albemarle and they won that game. That means they're good. This time will be at, I think it's at, yeah, they'll host them Friday night. So let's make sure. I just want to make sure that, of course, Amari Baldwin is going to be well prepared. Coach Davis is going to have the team prepared, and they're looking to get some get back and tie that conference race up. I think it's a big game. When you have this late in the season, you have that conference race within one game, and the one game is the team you're about to play. It's going to be a big game. I'm sure both teams will be prepared. Would love to see that matchup, but probably won't be able to see it. I'll probably watch it back before I get on Twitter, just so that way I can see a little bit of it if it's on the NFHS app. So that's one of the games. I think that's going to be a big game. I'm not going to pick a winner or loser. Maybe we'll do the games of the week in the profile. But next game, Queens Grant versus Jackson Day, top two teams in their conference. Jackson Day lost to Queens Grant at Jackson Day early in the season. If you haven't heard of Queens Grant, Zamaya Bynum, and Misa Garris have been scoring at a high level. Then they also have had Casey Smith, who's been the inside presence that is very much needed. Jackson Day had a big win over Greensboro Day recently, and they're kind of finding their stride. Courtney Ashford has been phenomenal for them. They're going to play another good game. That's on January 29th, which is, if I'm not mistaken, that's a Wednesday. So it'll be a good game. And I think that'll be for the conference as well, with Jackson Day only lost in conference coming to Queens Grant. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Ron goes about stopping Zamaya and Misa. Because, when you get past Zamaya, Misa, and Casey, the rest of the team are doing a great job at their role, obviously. But you got to stop that three-headed monster. And then, of course, you got to make shots. I think Jackson Day has a solid team. And they have some experience. A lot of those girls won the state championship with Northside. And were in the state championship last year with Northside. So it'll be interesting to see how they make adjustments. But that's on the 29th. We'll see who comes out. I'm sure Coach Holmes will also have her team ready, and they'll be prepared. They get a home game, so I know they're excited about that. On January 28th, Porter Ridge versus Marvin Ridge. Marvin Ridge won the game by 15 the first time. I didn't get a chance to see where it was, but I think it's going to be a good game. Marvin Ridge is coming off back-to-back losses, lost to North Meg, lost to Charlotte Catholic. I think they'll get a game versus Sun Valley in between that time, but for the most part, they got to get back on the winning side. Porter Ridge has been solid this year, but they're led from Ashanti Taylor, super sophomore. She's been amazing for them. I think if she continues that upward trend, you can see her ranked in the top 100 on the ESPN list. She's a solid guard for sure. But I think Marvin Ridge has the better team. But you know, if Ashanti gets going and the rest of her team kind of fills in the needs that they have, then it'll be a good game. So I'm not gonna pick a winner, but that would definitely be for the conference. I think. I want to say Weatherton is in that conference, but I don't want to say for sure. But I'm sure it'll be some other teams that have some say so. But I think these are the top two teams in that conference. Then you look at Cannon versus Providence Day. If you ever been to a Cannon and Providence Day game, and it's going to be at Providence Day, the atmosphere at Providence Day's fans are going to be there, and they're going to be excited for this game. It's for the first place. And it's not just for first place in conference because private schools work a little different than public schools. When you win a big game in private school, it gives you the home court advantage in the playoffs. Right now, Cannon has that leadway. I would say Providence Day would be the 2 seed right now. So, with that being said, if Providence Day loses, you still look at teams like Raven Gap and Wesleyan Christian that may take over that 2 seed, or if Cannon loses, it's going to be hard to say who's the 1 and who's the 2 because they would be on a split. So if they split the conference, it's a little different. Cannon's won the conference the last few seasons. Providence Day was the conference leader before that, so it's going to be a good matchup. I'm sure Coach Springer will have his team well prepared and will make adjustments from the first time that they play. Cannon's average of victory right now is 40 points per game, so in conference. So they're going to have to figure it out and continue to keep that pace as the season goes on with the first half of conference done. And the game of the week, I think, will be North Mac and Mallard Creek. Last time Mallard Creek made a comeback and won that game by 2 points. North Mac pretty much had the game. Couple costly turnovers, missed shots, things like that was really the reason for them losing. I think they are a really solid team. Of course, Lenise Joseph is their head of the snake, of course, but it's no way to really stop her. I think you more so want to contain her and then limit the rest of the team for North Mac. With Mallard Creek, hopefully Elle is back. She's been out for a couple games. I think I read where she'll be back Monday practicing, so hopefully she's back for that game because they're definitely going to need her for that playoff run. And this is a big game because you're looking at a team like in that, because you're in the same conference, you can go from a 1, 2, or 3 seed to a 10, 9, 10, 11 seed just because you finished second in your conference. No matter that you're the better team in the area, because of the RPI ratings, you're going to move down because that's just how it works. They do conference and then they consider everything else. So it's going to be big that whoever wins this game will take that spot. Right now, they're 2 of the top teams in that RPI rating. It should be a great game overall. A little bit in our Fire 25. I know one of the new teams is going to be West Charlotte. Not just because I'm an alum of West Charlotte, but if you look at their losses, 1-1 prep, they lost to Mallard Creek twice, Huff by a little bit, I want to say 2 or 4, something like that, and then they lost to North Mac. Those aren't bad losses. All those teams are ranked in our Fire 25, and those are top-level teams. West Charlotte is a very much improved team. If you watch them, you see it. They'll come in somewhere in our Fire 25. Look at Watauga. Watauga's been really good. Kate Sears been probably the most dominant player in the area as of late. The way she wheels her team, they hit 18 threes in their last game. Excuse me. 18 threes, shooting 50% from the 3 is absolutely insane. And I had this conversation with a parent. I'm like, it sucks for whoever has to go up there. Like, you go up there, you know that they shoot the ball well, and then you also got to deal with the fact that they're going to pack in their defense and you're going to have to shoot the ball well. So it's going to be. There have been plenty of times that teams gone up there thinking they was going to win. If you look last year, I think North went up there. Then I think Myers Park might have went up there. Mallet Creek. Maybe not Myers Park. I think it was North and Mallet Creek. But and they both suffered a loss. Watauga's going to be a hard out. McDowell's undefeated. If I'm not mistaken, they're like 1 or 2 in the RPI rankings. They've been pretty good. Concord Academy's been on a great run. 101 prep. Want to shout them out. Of course, Lake Norman still doing their thing. Mallet Creek, Cannon. But shout out to all those teams. I want to give a shout out to all the ladies that's playing well. It's coming to an end. So give your best. I mean, you got one chance to continue to finish out your season well. Conference, everybody should be in the second half of your conference. And for the public schools, you still got the conference tournament. And then maybe state playoffs if you make it. And then for private schools, you got those final 5 or 6 games, and then you're on to your state tournament. So coaches lock in, players lock in. Hopefully everybody has a great end to their season. BallHer Hoops, we're out.